icLAAo, I can't lose. No reality where I lose. Ever. Today is Friday, August 21st, 2026, day 232 of the 100 push-up, 100 squat progressive challenge for a year. We're in the month of August, almost done with the month of August. So we're doing 170 push-up, 170 squat every single day for this month of August. Then from September, we're doing 180 push-up, 180 squat every single day. Let's go.
Well, dynamic. Imagine if the most of the team was a bunch of gay dudes who were very aggressive and black. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Imagine if you reverse that. If the WNBA was just a bunch of straight people playing basketball, no controversy. This isn't even a thought in the NBA. No one thinks about gay players in the NBA. In the WNBA, there's a ton of
It's mostly gay.
It's all mostly gay.
Yeah.
Mostly big black gay ladies and a few scared looking Sophie Cunninghams that have to point fingers at people. You're surrounded.
Yeah, so I got to stop Rogan from spreading misinformation about our sweet queen, Caitlin Clark's bodyguard, Sophie Cunningham. Sophie isn't pointing because she's scared. She's got a black belt in Taekwondo. She would devastate any of those girls with a knee. And for those of you who don't pay attention to the WNBA, they're basically trying to pull what the NBA did in the 80s with Bird Magic, create a rivalry that gets people excited about the league. Except the WNBA seems to have gone full-on race war angle when they joined racing Caitlin Clark. Anyway, no matter how much they talked about women during this episode, Joe clearly had other things on his mind.
They made it into a reality show. It's become like Real Housewives. They're all just fighting now.
Right.
That's all I'm reason to watch.
But it is an interesting dynamic.
Of course.
Imagine if it was like that in the NBA.
But this happens with
Big
women.
giant homos. Just big giant 7 foot tall gay guys.
Break it up.
Trying to break it up. Wild. Partying, going everywhere, and leather and shit. I stumbled upon an Instagram page called Cumcore. It's hardcore music for gay guys. So it's gay guys in little nipple leather straps and jock straps and motorcycle hats.
Yeah.
You know, bare chested, hairy, and they're doing hardcore music.
In a genuine take.
And Israel has wanted us to bomb Iran forever. They've been going to the UN with cartoon bombs saying they're 62%, they're about to get to 80. They've been doing this forever, trying to convince the United States. And only Trump took the bait.
But didn't Hillary want to do it? No, they just kept making the
They didn't do it though. And
Right.
Trump did.
Look at
So
that.
they all thought about it like this is not the smart thing to do, and they ruined Libya, right? They did a lot of weird shit that they shouldn't have done, but they didn't do that one.
Everybody tried Syria.
Iran makes a big one because it's like, okay, now what? Because now we are the great Satan.
Now he's even out in a catering cart.
Some people don't even think the president actually gets to decide everything that happens during his time in the office. It's more like he's the Michael Scott of the country. Like when you hear stuff like General Wesley Clark talking 20 years ago about 7 countries in 5 years. It played out, but not in the same time frame. Maybe instead of 7 countries in 5 years, what the real plan was 7 countries, 1 every 5 years. This would put us much more on track. The president is just the guy who gets to be the face of it, while, at least from my perspective, a lot of these decisions seem like they were made long before we ever got there, which makes the stories we're fed today somehow feel both really hard to believe and completely believable at the same time.
But not only that, they snuck him out on another jet, and they put the reporters on Air Force One. That's wild. That's wild. Because if that thing blew up with the sky, that would be.
I would love to see those reporters like,
Donald Trump's a pretty good guy. This is free PJ. That's awesome. It was cheese with the toothpicks.
He hadn't spoken with Morena since 1997, if the phone records had showed otherwise. And this is where the story gets even darker. During the investigation, several athletes connected to Graham become part of the evidence. One of them was Antonio Pettigrew, an Olympic relay gold medalist. Pettigrew testified that Graham had encouraged him to use performance-enhancing drugs, including HGH and EPO. Other testimonies also connected Graham to allegations of athletes receiving drugs through Loretta. But there was an important complication. The government case wasn't bulletproof. Beretta himself was a controversial witness. Some jurors questioned his credibility, and Graham maintained that he was being made into a scapegoat because he was one of the persons who had originally exposed Balco. In other words, Graham's defense had a fascinating argument. But maybe he wasn't the mastermind. Maybe he was the whistleblower. Maybe because people caught in the investigation were trying to take him down with him. And that argument actually worked, at least partially. In 2008, Trevor Graham went on trial in federal court. The government accused him of lying to investigators about his relationship with Beretta. And Graham wasn't facing some minor investigation anymore. His entire reputation was on the line. Prosecutors presented phone records, photographs, shipping records, and testimonies from people connected to athletes. But when the jury finally deliberated, something unexpected happened. They didn't convict Graham on everything. They couldn't even agree on 2 of the 3 charges. The jury was deadlocked on the allegations that Graham had supplied or facilitated drugs for his athletes and whether he had lied about meeting Beretta. But they did unanimously find him guilty on one thing: lying about phone contact with Beretta. The phone records had been too difficult to explain. He had told investigators that he hadn't spoken with Beretta since 1997. The records showed otherwise. More than 100 calls, and that was enough. Graham was convicted on one count of making false statements to federal investigators. You might think the story ends there, but it doesn't. Because while the federal jury only convicted Graham on one count, the anti-doping authorities had their own case, and USADA took a much harder position. In July 2008, USADA...
Reginald doesn't want that guy suffering, nor does he have the strength to escape, so he asks Theo to make a difficult decision. And T-Bag doesn't hesitate. Inside the cell, Brad Bellick watches as he presses a pillow over Reginald's face. Smothered and slow. And just like that, the phone's empty. It's proof of how T will never hesitate to cross the line to secure his scammer, just like he did with Sancho. Moments before survival itself forced him into something new. Sancho. So Tina and Sancho find themselves stranded with nothing. No food, no protection, no way out for them. Every step feels heavier than the last. That's when Sancho says it. He suggests something unthinkable. According to him, they might have to eat each other to survive. At first it sounds like madness, but then, without warning, Sancho lunges and turns his desperation into violence as he tries to kill T-Bag for food.
I don't find something unique to me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna make it. We just gotta keep talking, Sancho. Keep our brains focused on some other round. And I have to know there's blind mouths.
The two struggle in the sand, fighting each other to stay alive. And in the middle of it, T-Bag manages to shove Sancho away, and he falls hard, hitting his head against a rock. For a moment, T-Bag doesn't move. He didn't set out to kill him, but now he's standing over Sanchez's lifeless body. Soon the situation becomes an opportunity to survive. And that's the choice he makes. He doesn't help Sancho, but rather accepts the outcome. T-Bag